If you start or already have a family during your repayment, then the percentage of your income that you repay to Zomia and the length of your contract can change. Let's talk first about what happens when you marry. If you marry and you have a spouse, so a husband or a wife, then when you report your income, you will report the total income of you and your spouse together. In other words, this is the combined income of the two of you. And because this is a combined income, the total income will be higher than if just one person was working. And so what we do is we reduce the total payment by 5%. So if your spouse does not work, then there's no change to this part of your contract. But if you and your spouse are working, then the usual 15% income repayment that we usually take on average is reduced by 5%. So let's look at an example here. So from left to the right, you can see that in this household, the spouse is working and the household income is $1,000 a month. And so the percentage to repay would be 10% instead of 15%. And 10% of $1,000, which is what the two earn together, would be $100 a month to repay. Now, let's talk about dependents. Dependents are anyone who depends on you financially for their livelihood. And this usually includes children and family members like a parent or a grandparent. And the basic idea of our dependence policy can be expressed with this graph. So you can see here that on the y-axis, you have income to repay, and on the x-axis, you have time. And essentially, the relationship is like this. The more dependence that you have, the lower the percent that you have to repay per month, but the greater the time is on your contract. So an easy way to think of this is the more people who depend on you financially, then the less your percentage each month to repay to Zomia is, but the greater the contract time is. And this may not matter to you if you are single, but if you have a family with kids to support, this can be a very helpful way of managing your repayments over time with Zomia. If you want to see a few detailed examples, you can look at your loan contract. They're there. Two other things to know about the dependence policy. First is that the maximum number of dependents you can claim is 6. And second, claiming the dependents, it's completely optional. You don't have to accept a longer contract and lower repayments. You can continue with the same contract that you signed when you first joined Zomia.